So guys, could you guess what kind of Adobe RGB or sRGB coverage that monitor had, that footage had? I know it's not the most accurate representation, but I tried to get the image as close as possible to what I was seeing. I shot the footage in log format and tried to match the white balance as close as possible. So could you guess what kind of sRGB coverage that monitor has, or what kind of NTSC coverage that monitor has? Comment down below. So now I'm going to reveal to you. So that monitor has an sRGB coverage of 62% and an NTSC coverage of 45%. It's 1080p and an IPS panel. So how many of you could guess it? And the bigger question is, did you think that was a bad display, or that was a horrible display or something like that? What do you think? Okay, now that brings me to the premise of this video. Is color accuracy important for casuals like gamers and casual photo editing, video editing? Does it matter? So if you are a paid professional who is working with particular sRGB content, working with particular Adobe RGB content, then this video is not for you. This video is for those casual people who is confused whether an sRGB, 62% sRGB monitor is a bad monitor or not. It is for those. If you are a paid professional, you know what you're working for, this video is not for you. You already know what you need. As for the casuals and gamers, let's answer the question for you. So first of all, do you guys actually know what sRGB, what Adobe RGB, what NTSC, DCI-P3, these kind of stuff mean? Now, I am not any kind of color accuracy guru. I'm not a color calibrator. I'm just a casual guy. I'm going to show you what I know about these things. So first of all, let's discuss what is color gamut. So color gamut represents the range of colors from the range of colors that is identifiable by our human eye, right? Now this range of colors has certain standards. There is the main three are sRGB, Adobe RGB and NTSC. Now all of these standards cover a different range of colors, right? So for example, 72% NTSC means 100% of sRGB, right? Which means sRGB has a narrower range of colors, right? Which like 100% sRGB monitor can only show about 60% of the Adobe RGB color range or color spectrum. 100% Adobe RGB monitor is a lot more expensive compared to 100% sRGB monitor. So you have to keep these things in mind. What matters even more in color accuracy is delta E values. So what are delta E values? Delta E values represents the difference between the input color and the color that is displayed by the monitor. So for example, you make a painting and you put certain colors in that painting, right? And you feed that painting into your program. So when the program will display that painting to others in their monitors, what is the difference in the colors of the input material and the output material? That is what represented by delta E. Now the delta E value as close as 0 means as perfect as possible. That is, the colors displayed is as close as to the input material. And the delta E values, as like if it increases, it means that the color will be different or slightly different depending on the value. Like a good delta E value is around 2 or below. So that's a very good delta E value, 2.5 or below. That's a really good delta E value. Delta E values of above 4 and 5, that will it will start to display different colors than what you actually intended to show. So there is a lot of factors, sRGB, Adobe RGB, delta E values, there is a lot of things that matter. And the other big thing that matters is it is a misconception. Like for example, a monitor which has like 62% of sRGB and a monitor which has 100% of sRGB, that doesn't mean that the 62% sRGB monitor is a bad monitor or the 100% sRGB monitor is a good monitor. That's another misconception. What is more important is the underlying technology, right? The panel technology matters a lot. So for example, there are there are multiple panel technologies, and some of the most common panel technology is TN panels, you have VA panels, you have OLED panels, you have IPS panels. So these are the four mainstream panels that are available in most monitors. So all these panels have their own advantages and disadvantages. There is response times, there is color accuracy, there is contrast level. Each of these panels have their own advantages and disadvantages. But what matters the most to the human eye is contrast. So for example, if you have a display with a lot of color coverage, but the display has lesser contrast, a display with a higher contrast ratio will be a lot more attractive to you compared to a display which has less contrast. So for example, if you take an IPS panel and compare that with a TN panel, the TN panel has a lot less contrast compared to the IPS panel. So the TN panel, even if that panel has higher color coverage compared to the IPS panel will always appeal to you more, because contrast is much more perceptible to the human eye than anything else. And on the other hand, OLED displays have a lot more contrast compared to IPS panels. OLED displays almost have infinite contrast ratios, because in OLED panels each of the individual pixels have their own light emission. They don't have a backlight that IPS panel use. So in OLED panels, when you see a black image, it means basically the pixels are turned off, so you have infinite contrast. That's why those OLED panels look really amazing, and they are very expensive too. There are two pictures. In one picture there is less contrast, it is like it is kind of faded, and the other picture has a lot more contrast. The picture with more contrast is much more appealing, and that's what matters to casuals like us. Like movies, games, they appear much crisp, like not crisp, they'll appear more attractive in the image which has more contrast. Now let's come back to the original question that we asked. Does color accuracy mean anything to you if you are a gamer or a casual editor? Now let me tell you, no, it doesn't. I am also a casual guy. I also play games, I edit videos, I edit a lot of pictures, as you can see over here on my NTSC 45% NTSC IPS monitor, and it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, when I jumped from my previous 1360 by 768 monitor to this monitor, I was blown away, because the difference was apparent in contrast. My previous monitor was not an IPS panel, but this one was an IPS panel, and this IPS panel has a lot more contrast, and it looks really good. And it never bothered me that my monitor is not 100% sRGB or not. It never bothered me, and I am sure same thing applies to you guys if you are a casual guy. So yeah, once again, if you are a gamer and you are a casual guy, you watch movies, you play games, and you casually edit videos, photos, color accuracy does not mean too much to you. Color coverage doesn't matter too much to you. 45% NTSC and an IPS panel, that's totally enough for you. Now I'm gonna give you a couple of warning. Most of the laptops, below the, what I've seen below the 90,000 rupees price range, most of them have 45% NTSC IPS panel, but there are some exceptions. For example, if you go and take a look into ASUS category, you'll see they use the term IPS level. So guys, remember that those ASUS laptops, they don't have an IPS panel. The contrast levels of those panels are lesser compared to the other laptops with IPS panels. So even the ASUS has 40% NTSC, and the other laptops from HP and Acer, they also have 40% NTSC coverage. However, those laptops have a IPS panel which looks a lot better compared to the non-IPS panel that ASUS uses. So be careful when you purchase. At least purchase an IPS panel at 1080p resolution. That will be enough for you. And if you need a a monitor with a higher sRGB coverage, then you can look for ASUS Zephyrus G14 or the HP Omen 15, the RTX 2060 version, which has 72% of NTSC coverage. Or you can also look for the Acer Nitro 7 with the 144 Hz 17.3-inch display. It also has 72% NTSC coverage, which means 100% sRGB. But if you are a gamer, a casual movie watcher, photo or video editor, then these values don't mean anything to you. They are just plain metrics. And yeah, that's all I have to say in this video, guys. That's it for this video. My name is Iptesh. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.